Hello and welcome to the channel. So I've got a Pevaey mixing desk XR800F, and this has got intermittency on the left channel, same as the last mixer we looked at, funnily enough. So I've run this amp up, and as the usual case, it's going on and off for the customer, but of course once it lands on my bench then we can't get it to go off. It's on all the time, no intermittency. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to get right into this. I'm just going to open it up and see what we're dealing with inside, because based on the last one we looked at, obviously it was full of dust and whatnot. So we're going to get straight in. I'll just crack it open and then we can have a look at what we're dealing with. Right, we've got the power amp section, and we're pretty sure the fault's on the power amp section. It's certainly the first place to look, because the fault is on all the channels on the mixing desk, on all the inputs. So it's looking like it's on this board. So just looking inside the heatsink here, and we need to just we might need to get that off, strip that down. It's a little bit dusty in there. We've just got one flat board going from here all the way to the end. So all of these components under here will be the vent. We've got vent on each side here and here. Oh, we'll just check round really and just see. Gimbal's playing up again. There's a 8-pin op amp there, so we'll just reseat that, just in case that's got a bit swagey. And then we'll get the board out, we'll look at the dry joints, see there must be, that's what we're looking for really, a dry joint. Just check that none of the legs are damaged on the transistors. What, you know, one of the legs isn't broken. Sounds far-fetched, but it does happen from time to time. So the first thing we need to do is get this heatsink off, and that's done from underneath. And we've got a tie wrap here and here, that goes to the, is that on a plug? No, it isn't on a plug. No. So we need to unplug this, because we're going to get this board out altogether so we can work on it. I'm just going to have to move the camera. I just need to get over this. Right, I'm just going to move the camera so I can take this to bits quicker and easier. Right, so I've been round with the hoover as well over these vents, and we've got dust up here as well, and we've got a lot of dust down the side there, so I'm just going to remove this transformer to get to that. And you must clean all the dust out of these mixers, because obviously it's a fire hazard, so which is why we always do this. Make sure that it's all nice and clean. There we go. You can see there's only a small amount down there, but you know, I leave it, next person leaves it, so it goes on, and before you know where you are, it's all it all mounts up. So best just to get rid of it, you know, get rid of it now. Yeah, you can see it's all inside the transformer mounting shroud as well, so we'll clean that out as well while we're at it. There we go, giving him a good hoover. We've hoovered inside the shroud, so that's all ready to go back together now. So we'll get that back together. And we can focus on the board. Right, disconnected the fan because it's not on a plug. Made some notes where the wires go, although someone's made notes already on there. We've removed the temperature sensors there on that one as well, and we've got this plug here which was tie wrapped on this corner, and then we've got another tie wrap there, so we've undone that. So we've just got to undo the screws now, and we can lift that off. You can already see dust, where dust is protruding out of it there, so I'm expecting it to be reasonably dusty under here. So we'll remove the screws. If I bring that up close, you can see all the dust there. So we'll get the screws out and have a look. There we go. You can see we've got a bit of a build up in there going on. And again, it's not massive, but as I say, you know, I think, oh, I'll leave that, and then the next guy comes along and he says, oh, I'll leave that, and then before you know, it's got that bad, and next thing it's on fire. So makes sense just to go through it. This transistor here leaning on the heatsink. Yes, a bit grabby in there, but not too. I've seen worse. The last one we did was far worse, but it still needs addressing. So we'll take that outside and we'll get that all cleaned off. Some cobwebs here as well, bits and bobs. And again, we'll just reseat all of these op amps. Just check the pins on them, and then we'll start looking for some delay joints. Right, I've got all the board clean now, and you can see, and I've even been underneath these with a small paintbrush as well. Just got it all out from under there, because it wasn't too bad under there, but we've got a bit of it gathered. So now I'm going to go over this board and just check for dry joints. I found one here on this, you probably won't be able to see it if I zoom in even, but basically this, where this ribbon cable goes in, there's a dry joint on that, so I need to sort that out, but I'm sure I can find some more on there. Right, it's all back together. This board is, we've got the heatsink back on, and yeah, found a couple of dry joints, one definite, which was on this here, on this plug socket here, whatever, ribbon socket. So check that these pins are clean. We put these back on. We've got the tie wrap back on there. There's the old tie wrap. Check that nuts tight on the rectifier. We've reseated all these op amps as well. Check those, and it's all nice and clean in there now. The fan's nice and clean, so yeah, all good to go back in. Cleaned all the flux off the bottom of the board as well, so we'll get that back in, build that up, and then we'll look at the top half of the mixer. Right, so we're on the top part of the mixer now with all the controls on there, and looking at this board, and yeah, I'm going to have to get that board out and have a good look at it. And you can see that, now you can see, and this board is the same as well, the power board that you can just see here, me pointing at. So I need to get both of those boards out and have a look at those and give them a good inspection. So to do that, there I've got to take all the jack sockets, the nuts off the jack sockets on the back there, and this one, let's go back, and this power one here, I've got to take a couple of screws out there, and screw here, and I think something is, one of the tracers has lifted on that board as well, on this power board, so we need to inspect that as well. So you can see I've got this board out now, this power board, and if we look at this here, that's actually all lifted and moving on there, and if you look down the edge there, you should be able to just get into the center where we can focus on it a bit more, on that actual bit there. You see there? Well, that's all cracked, and this bracket here is all loose. A bit hard to focus on, but see that moving there? So that, now that doesn't look like it's connected to anything other than it's just to secure it. But look at that, if you look at this one here, look at that crack in there, that's on the power there, you see that? So that needs addressing. So this whole board needs just good check over and clean up. So that is the next job. So if we look in the mixer now, and I've got to have this on its end because I can't be lying it down on the pots for obvious reasons. But if we look in there, you can see we need to just get this board out and have a bit of a clean up around here. There's just, again, a bit of dust and things, but that board needs to come out as well, so we need to look at that. Right, so we've got that one on there, and I thought I was filming that and I'd actually not switched the camera on. So, but we've done all of that, got that one done. So I'm just checking these tracers now. I think we'll just give these a little bit of attention, because this board needs to be right. Obviously it's with the power. That actually looks good now. That's actually fail. Let's get those cleaned up properly, shall we? As they've fallen out now, so we'll just get they're carrying the power to the main board, so I'll try and get most of that crap off there. Dregs, shut up. There we go, and that's cleaned that up. Got all that soldered properly, and that's safe now as well. It's all good. So now we'll turn his attention to the top of it. There's just a bit of dust here and there we need to get, and of course we need to check the fuse. So we'll have a look, and the fuse holder is in nice and solid. Just check that is. Yep. There we go. Bit of dust in there as well, so we'll clean all that. There we go, and the fuse is 4 amp, that's what's in it. So he's all nice and clean, he's ready to go back in. So you can see, to get this board out here, we've took these off, and we've got to take all of these as well to get this board out. Battery's getting low on the camera now. And there. And that one, we need to take that foot off as well, because we can't get to that. That's inside there then. There we go. And I always strip these down and take the boards out. You know, I don't like working on these boards when they're just in, it's just, you know, just soldering over them, because you just can't see properly in there. There's still all the muck in there, and so I like to just strip them out and get them out and have a close inspection. Remember, we're looking for this has got an intermittent fault, and it's, as I say, it's worked perfectly while it's been on my desk. So I need to be thorough with this. And obviously this board doesn't look very clever, so it's and also it's got the speaker sockets on it as well. So again, you know, is this where the problem lies? Oh, they are two different. They're actually different. I thought that board was joined together. I don't know why, and yet I'd looked earlier and it wasn't. We just need to get these off now. There we go. So he's out. And now if we go in and we have a proper look, we just get it to focus. There you go, and you can see we need to have a close look at that, don't we? You see we've got some dust in there and whatnot. Clean all these sockets out. So if you look down inside these pins, they're pretty corroded. You can just about, you can't see on the camera, you can see this corrosion on the pins there, and they're full of dust and stuff. So we need to get these sockets, address these sockets, sort them out. So if we look at this trace here where my finger is there, we can see that's lifted off there as well. So we've got these out now, and they are on a ribbon cable, so we've got to be very careful with those. And you can see we're really beginning to delve into this now. But if we look, there's a lot of dust and stuff in there, so again we need to clean all of those out as well. That board looks okay though. Now we've got that out as well, we just come round. It's a bit awkward at the angle of filming this. Now you can see all the dust. We're just going to clean all of this board, all of this panel, get all this cleaned off, and then we'll get that power board back in and clean this ground as well here. It's a bit grubby, so we'll give that a bit of a clean. Where do we start with this then? If we look inside, you can see there's a bit more light. We look inside, you can see these are really badly corroded. So I think I'm going to have to take these sockets out. But yeah, you can see there, it is not good. There you go, you can see inside there. You can see the corrosion on those pins just on there. So we're going to have to give that a severe clean. There we go, you can see the difference there, and this solder is glued onto these traces, and I have tried to get as much as I can off. We can see we've got a broken trace there to fix yet on there, but we've had two of those sockets out now, and yeah, it is what it is, I'm afraid. This like, you know, where it's all crammed in here, this can get conductive, and then you've got shorts going on in there and all sorts. So it's important to clean all of that out. I'm never going to get this board looking right, but at least it's half of it's clean, the sockets are clean, and we've got a good part of the gloop off. But yeah, now to do the other half. And just look inside there. There's enough in there to make me a wig. Right, so we've been across there, we've had all the sockets out, we're just down to this point, this end here now, and you can see that I've cleaned all the flux off and there's a trace gone there. So we've got a trace also gone there, but that fortunately is not connected to anything, so it's just an anchoring trace. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is clean all the solder up off here and tidy that up, and then have a look at what else is that could be. Sorry, I'm just trying to hold this. It's not easy when it's see what any of these traces here that these traces, just see if any of those under the solder are missing or whatever, because it's just all piled up on there. Right, there we go. That's about the best we're going to get that. So that's all cleaned up now, and you can just about see I repaired that trace there. It almost looks perfect, not quite, but yeah, that's about the best we're going to get that. And it's all cleaned up on there as well, all the dust's out. So next, it just seems to go on and on, this desk does. Let's just get that alcohol up. Now we've got this one board left at the bottom here that you can see. Obviously we've got the effects board above, but now this, again, the sockets, you can see all the dust in there. Now this is on a ribbon cable there, so I think we're going to have to take this shield off here. And what I'm going to do with this mixer now, because obviously it's getting a bit of a lengthy thing, and it's also going to get more expensive for the customer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this panel out, and then we're going to put all this mixer back together. I'm not going to touch this part, this part here, the underneath. I'm not going to remove that. I want to put this mixer back together, run it up and test it. And if it seems okay and there's no problems, I'm going to let the customer have it back and see how he goes with it, because he's got a spare one of these as well. He's got two of them. And then if he runs it and there's no problems with it, then we know we've found it. If it then does start having problems again, then obviously we know we're going to be looking in this part of the mixer. But we need to sort these sockets out. And some of these sockets, of course, when you plug into them, they will cut out the amp. Now on this one, if we look, I just lift this up. So if we look here, we've got master outputs there, but we've got power amp in left and right. So are these, when you plug into there, does that cut out the preamp? And so therefore, if the left socket was full of dust and it was activating the switch in the socket, that, you know, getting in between the contacts, then that could be causing one channel to go off, things like that. So cleaning those sockets is imperative, really, and sorting them out, and then we can rule them out should this amp continue to have problems. So it's getting a bit awkward to film this now. So let's get this cover off and see what we've got under there. Well, I ended up taking that panel off to get this out, and if I just go down, you can see it goes up, it folds into there, and yeah, it's and look at the SMD components. If the fault's in there, I'm afraid we've shot it, because that is, by gum, I didn't expect to see that. Very clean in there though, that's good, relatively clean, it seems pretty clean. The board, the panel that came out is just got a smattering of dust on it, but nothing major, so I think we'll be okay with that. And just have a good check, but it looks okay. And we just go up Just got a bit of dust there, so whoops. So just got a bit of dust up there to clean off. Right, so we're going to desolder these sockets and get them out, and you can see this dust and all sorts in them. So that's the first job. And you can see what I mean in there. It's just riddled. And you can see where it's all gathered there at the bottom of the board. And you see that one's even worse. There we go. They've all been out and back in again, cleaned up, and it looks like we've never been there. So we'll get that back in. Now these sockets on this board here have been enclosed with that steel, with that metal plate thing that went over their shield, so they're pretty good. I've just been across with the hoover and sucked out any, if there was any dust, little bit but not much, just clean that out. They're all good, so we're fine with those. So it's just a matter now of putting this thing back together. As I said, if there's anything wrong on there, pretty much shot it. I'll have a quick look round before we put it back together, but yeah, just hope that we've cured the fault. Right, we've got this mixer, bit of a funny camera angle, but got it on a couple of monitors just to run it up. So we'll have a bit of a listen. Seems okay. So I've cleaned. I looked at this board, this top part of this board, and I've been around some of the bigger solder joints that was on there and checked all of that out as well. So yeah, we've gone right through this. Apart from the SMD stuff, we obviously, we're not really equipped for that. But it's clean now inside. Everything, you know, the fan's clean and all the heat sinks are clean. We've cleaned all the sockets out, got all the dust out of it, tidied up that speaker board, this speaker socket board. got some flange or chorus there. Yeah, that caused a bit of feedback. So there we are. That all seems good. It's, you know, the left channel's working okay. We'll just see what happens now. Just give it back to the customer and just see if it's okay. And the last mixer we did was the same. You know, we never actually found what was wrong with it. It worked fine on my desk, and we cleaned it all and sorted it all out. And I messaged the guy about 3 weeks after we did it, and he just said it's absolutely fine. And I said keep me posted, and I've never heard from him, so I presume that one was a success. Let's just hope that this one is a success as well. So that'll do it for this one. So thanks for watching. You all take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.